I had the chance to speak with Kristi Kendall, who is the director of the documentary feature Undivide. It will screen at this year's Kansas City Film Fest International on Sunday, April 14th at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale right now at kcfilmfest.org. Alrighty, so thanks for talking with me today, Kristi. And you go by Kristi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, my
Uh,
friends call me Christy. When I'm in trouble with my mother, it's Christina.
Okay, gotcha. I'll call you Christy because no one's in trouble today. So I ask all the filmmakers this question, and just to get us started out, let me know what your film is all about.
My film is about, this crazy election year we're in, right? We're all thinking about how toxic all the media is, how hateful everyone is, and we end up with this misperception that everyone around us is actually also hateful and toxic. And it turns out we were really interested in whether that was true or not. So we went around the country to figure it out.
And so, what was some of your personal inspiration for making this documentary?
So I wanted to do this really because I was seeing this toxicity all around me. And I was thinking to myself, what does this mean? What for the world that we're leaving for our children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I can't just let this be the case. I was a journalist, so I started exploring, what was true, what wasn't true, and it turns out that we're all radically misinformed about our fellow citizens. And so I thought it'd be really cool to make a documentary that kind of showed um, what was true about Americans. And I don't want to give it all away, but what we found was like pretty hopeful and inspiring about what we can expect from one another.
Well, it definitely, made me feel a little bit hopeful, a little more inspired. So, but one of my questions, and I think that's the question that a lot of people have right now is, what do you say to those people that don't have hope right now, that look at this whole scenario going on in our country and in the world and think, I give up.
Yeah, no, what I want to say to them is I feel you. Like I've been there. Um, and it's totally legitimate to feel that way given the hysteria that we hear from our social media, from our traditional media, from the
Hmm.
politicians who actually benefit from these tropes that just spin out of control.
Hmm.
And the problem is that if we do just kind of say, I throw up my hands, I give up, we actually we we cede our power as citizens, right? That's like the big thing. And we unintentionally kind of make it worse,
Hmm.
actually, because one of the things that happens is when you are in one camp or the other, you automatically, if you don't talk to people who are different than you, if you don't kind of get out there and engage in civil society, you actually end up thinking that the problem is a lot worse than it actually is.
Hmm.
So it actually is a self-fulfilling prophecy in some kind of way. So part of the whole point of making this documentary was like, I want to interrupt that, right? I want to interrupt it with not like hysteria, but with like a slap of truth, about what's true about the about your fellow citizens.
What would you say, in talking to these people and doing the focus groups and all of that, what was the most surprising thing that came as a result of this?
I think one of the most surprising things to us was how therapeutic the conversations were.
Mm,
It's like people were not, we would wrap the whole thing, we'd have these really involved conversations around, abortion, guns, the
mm,
elections, a parent's role in education, things that are really easy to
mm,
talk about, not easy, right? And 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 the people would just and they'd be in these groups where they clearly disagreed with each other, but they still wanted to keep talking. And
mm,
it was almost like therapy in some ways, I think, for folks. And we did not expect that. We knew that the research had showed us that most Americans would not like throw down and fight or be screaming at each other. Like I felt pretty confident in that, but I didn't know how the people would actually feel transformed by the experience. I wasn't expecting that. So that was surprising. and
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It comes across when you're watching the film, definitely. So, and the final question, just to close it out here, is once the credits roll and people see the documentary in full, what do you want or what do you hope would be that biggest takeaway that people have from watching Undivide Us?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest hope is that people would be like, I want to get my five closest friends to see this movie too,
Mm,
and or I want to think about how I can take this back into my life, take it back into my community, how I can feel more engaged about the life that I'm living. One of the things I do, we've done quite a few screenings, and one of the questions I get from folks is, how do I do this? And I
mm,
always turn that back on them. I'm like, I don't know. Tell me, how are you going to do this? Because I don't think it's any one answer.
mm,
But I think part of the things about us Americans is we are like scrappy and ingenious, and we're going to come up with things that nobody else has thought of. And
mm,
I don't mean to be like too Pollyanna-ish, and I know it can
mm.
sound like that, but I believe in like the possibility of my fellow human being to like figure stuff out. So that's my hope.
Yeah, well, it's my hope too, and it's my hope that people will come out and see Undivide Us at Kansas City Film Fest.
I'll
Definitely
see
a
you
great,
there. I'll see you there.
yeah, and you'll be there. There will be a Q&A with you after, so people can ask all the questions they want. And so we're definitely looking forward to hosting you and everyone come out and see it. See it with us at KC Film Fest.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Thanks, Kristi.